Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Promoted Sandra. If this is the first time you are coming across this channel, hi. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much for coming. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to cut and sew this cute, beautiful full fledged dress. Okay, so this gown has a slit at the side, as you can see on the photo, and it also has a belt at the waist, and it also has like a stripe at the sleeve. This sky blue is the inspiration, and this navy green is the one I recreated. So without further ado, let us dive into this video. So this is the fabric I'm going to be using. This is 3 yards of crepe. So at the end of this video, if you have any question, please feel free to let me know in the comment section. I will respond to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold my fabric into two. So before folding my fabric into two, I went ahead to cut out 1 yard from it. So what I'm currently folding is 2 yards. Remove 1 yard from the 3 yards, okay, because I'm about to cut flare. So I went ahead to fold it into two. After folding it into two, so I went ahead to refold it into two again, like this, like a square. Okay, I'm folding it like this because I'm going to be cutting a full flare. When you want to cut a full flare, this is how you will fold your fabric. Okay, so this is folded into 4, okay, and the 2 edges are closed. So what I'm going to be doing is to add 2 inches to my waistline measurement, because I'm going to be cutting the waist of this skirt first. So my waist is 34 plus 2 inches is 36. So 36 divided by 4, because this is folded into 4, is going to give me 9. So what I'm going to do is to go ahead and place my tape on my fabric like this at the edge here. So if you be following me up, you know that this is how I normally placed my tape on my fabric when I want to take my waist measurement. So I'll go ahead and mark points on both sides where I got this 9 inches, okay, for the waist measurement. So I'll measure from the starting, that is the up here, down to where I chalked, like down to where I marked. I will measure it, whatever I have, I'll mark it round. So from the starting to where I chalked is 9 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark 9 inches round. Just watch out how I am doing this. So I'll go ahead and connect the points together. After that, I'll go ahead and measure it to see if it's more than 9 inches or not up to. So after taking my measurement, I discovered it was more than 9 inches. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up by 1 inch. I will just measure 1 inch upward from the first line. So I'll go ahead and measure what I have here. So the total measurement I have now is about 8.5 inches. I'm okay with that. Remember, I added extra 2 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean off the first line that I marked, okay, so that it will not confuse us. So once I was done with that, I'll go ahead and place my tape on the new line like this. I'll minus 50 inches, which is my half length measurement. Okay, so I'll go ahead and minus 50 inches and place my tape. I will take the full length of my gown. So the full length of my gown is 30 inches. I added 1 inch, which make it 31 inches. So what I'm marking right now is 31 inches. Just go ahead and place your tape and mark it round like this. After that, I went ahead to cut it out, just like as you can see me doing. It's very easy. So I'll go ahead and cut out the waist like this. So I'm going to go ahead and open it like this. Hope you guys can see how I opened it up. So after opening it, I'm going to go ahead and determine where the slit at the front is going to be. So how I normally get the slit for the front of my dress is I'll go ahead and use my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8 inches. 8 divided by 2 is 4. I'll go ahead and place my tape like this on the center front like this and mark 4 inches. After marking it, I'll go ahead and notch it on both sides. There's no way I can determine the length for the down because they flare. So what I normally do is I'll go ahead and place my roller on it like this. I'll mark a straight line. Okay, just make sure when you are placing your roller, just make it straight or somehow. So I'll go ahead and notch the down square. So after notching it down, I will shift my fabric. So I will shift it a little like this. Then I will come to this edge over here, this part, this place. I will go ahead and divide it into two. So this is going to be for the zipper allowance. Okay, remember the back is going to be open because we are going to be attaching zip. So I'll go ahead and open up this part that I marked, okay, which is a nipple to nipple. So before you go ahead and open it, place the fabric on your body. Okay, so you are going to determine where you want your slits to be. So for me, after placing it on my body, I wanted it to be on the left side before tearing it up. So that is exactly what I did. So once I was done, I went ahead to pin it up again. The line I just opened, I went ahead to pin it up because I'm going to be sewing it back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that aside now. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and cut the upper part, which is the half length for this dress. So what I did is I went ahead to fold my fabric into two. So this is the 1 yard I removed before. So if you take note, you're going to see that the folding is so wide. So that is because the sleeve on this dress is a continuous sleeve. Okay, so I'll go ahead and measure my shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches from the center front. Then from that point, I'll go ahead and measure what is left. So what I have left is about 19 inches. So that is how long I want my sleeve to be. You can make use of 20 inches. So from there, I'll go ahead and measure the wideness of my sleeve, which is 11 inches, which is also known as chest line. So normally my armhole length is about 8 inches, but for this dress I'm going to be making use of 11 inches. So from my shoulder, I'll measure my half length, which is 50 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance, that is 60 inches. So I'll go ahead and measure 60 inches. After that, I'll go ahead and draw a straight line across. Then I'll go ahead and extend this 11 inches on the edge of the sleeve, and at the center I'll connect a straight line because I just want the lines to be accurate before connecting my armhole. So from there, I'll go ahead and take my waistline measurement, which is 8.5 inches. Then I will take my bust measurement, which is 9 inches. So after taking the measurement, I'll go ahead and connect from the waistline to the armhole. Just watch out and see how I am connecting this. Okay, so guys, before connecting it, go ahead and add your sewing allowance. So I didn't add it, but when I'm cutting it, I will just add 1 inch sewing allowance. I will take the wideness of the neck. So I'm just going to come down by 3 inches at the center front here. Then I will minus 1 inch from my shoulder measurement. Okay, my shoulder measurement is 7 inches, minus 1 is going to give me 6. So I'll go ahead and mark 6 inches like this. So once I was done, I'll go ahead and connect the points together. While I was cutting it, I went ahead to add 1 inch for the sewing allowance at the waistline. Okay, just go ahead and add your own. So once I was done, I went ahead to fold another fabric into two to cut the back. So I went ahead to place the front part of this dress to the back. Okay, so I'll go ahead and add 1 inch zipper allowance like this. After that, I'll go ahead and connect the shoulder to the zipper allowance like this. Then once I was done, I'll go ahead and cut it out. So after cutting it, I will come to the downside of this back. I will go in by 0.7 inches. This is to remove poking from our dress. Okay, so if you've been watching me, you will know I always do this a lot. Then I'll go ahead and mark a slant line from somewhere up down to the point I just marked. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out. Then from this waistline, which is zipper area, I will come up by 1 inch. You can also come up by 0.7 inches. I will connect a slant line to meet with the other side like this. Then I will cut it out. So once I was done, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and cut the turning for the front and also the turning for the back. So this is to turn the neck. Okay, so just go ahead and place your fabric and cut out the turning for both the back and front. So after cutting it, I'll go ahead and place it on it like this. Then I'll go ahead and pin it. I will take it to the sewing machine and sew it with 1/2 inch. Then I will top stitch on it. I've gone ahead to sew it, and this is how it look like. So after sewing it, I just want to show you guys what I did at the back. I went ahead to use hemi gum to gum it to avoid shifting and all that. So if you have weaving mesh, you can go ahead and weave the edge. Okay, So I did the same thing for the back. So guys, at this point I was actually showing you guys how to place the front to the back, and which I know a lot of us already know how to do, but my camera stopped recording. I don't know why. It always run temperature, like temperature high, to just stop recording. So what I did is that I went ahead to place the front and the back together like this. So I'm about to sew the shoulder. So if you check the shoulder, you're going to see that I went ahead to mark a straight line using my check. So I went in by 1 inch before drawing this straight line. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew through where I marked. That is the lines that I mark on the shoulder. I'm just going to sew it through that place. The reason why I went ahead to leave about 1 inch is because we are going to be adding stripes, like stripes to it. Okay, two stripes each on each sleeves. So after sewing it, I went ahead to press it. So this is how it look after I was done ironing it. So what I'm going to be doing next now is to sew the edge of this space, that is the sewing allowance here. I'm just going to watch at how I am going to sew it. I'm just going to sew through the edge over here like this. Okay, so I'll sew it from the start to the end. I made a mistake. The mistake is that I wanted to sew it to the end, but later on I wanted to loosen it up with 1/2 inch because we are going to be folding the edge of the sleeve, so we've not fold it. But before we fold it, we are going to go ahead and join the sides of the dress together. Okay, so I wanted to loosen it up over the part that I sewed before, this edge over here. I wanted to loosen it up a little as well. When you are sewing it, just leave some excesses at the edge, but it's very important to sew it before sewing the sides of your dress, else it might be difficult for you to do. What I'm going to be doing next now is to go ahead and shaping my dress. Okay, I'll go ahead and pin it. So after pinning it, I'll go ahead and mark the sewing allowance I added, which is 1 inch. So after marking it, I'll take to the sewing machine and sew it like this down. Okay, this is me sewing it like this. I'll go ahead and sew the other side. This is very easy, just pay attention. After sewing it, the space I left at the shoulder line, which is the armhole, so I'll go ahead, this space that we left, I'll go ahead and start folding it. Okay, I'll fold it with 1/2 inch like this. I will fold it again. So after that, I'll go ahead and sew it just like as you can see me doing. So I will do the same thing for the other side. So after sewing it, I'll go ahead and lock it up. I'll go ahead and join it together and lock it up again. So after locking it up, I'll go ahead and sew the space that I loosed before. I will just go ahead and sew it. So this is very easy. So this is how it look like after sewing it. So here are the stripes I'm going to be using for it. So what I did is that I went ahead to cut out like 2 inches wideness fabric. Then after cutting it, I went ahead to sew it like this, just like as you can see me doing. So I'll just go ahead and lock the up, lock the side. While after sewing it, I'll go ahead and turn it out using my, just use anything to turn it out. Okay, I don't know what it's called, so I went ahead to turn it out. After turning it, I went ahead to iron it. So this is how it look like. So what I'm going to be doing now is to go ahead and use my pin. I'll go ahead and pin it to the stripe. So if you see, this is the part that I locked, the part that I sew, which is the knit part. So this part I didn't sew it. Okay, so just watch out where I'm going to be placing my safety pin. So I'll go ahead and place my pin on the edge where I sew. Okay, so I'll go ahead and place it from the shoulder line. From the shoulder, I'll go ahead and take it through the shoulder down to the sleeve. Oh, my ring light is off. I'll go ahead and take it down like this. I'll just drag it down. So when you are dragging it, be careful. Okay, so I'll go ahead and use office pin. I'll go ahead and pin it down before taking to the sewing machine and sew. Before I sew it, I'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Then I will take to the sewing machine and sew it, okay, at the top there. So I'll do the same thing for the other sleeve. So after sewing it, this is how it look like. You can see how beautiful this is. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag it up. So So drag it to the length where you want your sleeve to get to. Okay, so I will drag it, then after that I will tie it up. I will do the same thing for the other side. So after I was done tying it, this is how it look like. So this is the back side for the zipper space. So what I'm going to do now is, this is the skirt part. I'm going to be sewing the skirt part. So I will take this to the sewing machine. This is the part where we open today, remember. So I'm just going to go ahead and measure where I want my slit to get to. So from the downside, I'll measure 9 inches upward. So 1 inch is going to be for the folding, while 8 inches is going to be for the opening. So I'll mark a point there. I'll take it to the sewing machine and sew it down to where I marked here. So I will sew it from the waistline to that point. So after sewing it, this is how it look like. So what I'm going to do is to go ahead and fold one side like this with half an inch, then fold it again how we normally fold our dress. So I'll go ahead and sew it. I will fold the other side. So after sewing it, this is how it look like. Okay, you can see how neat and beautiful this is. So once I was done, I'll go ahead and fold the waistline into 2 like this. I'll go ahead and notch the center. So I will notch the center of the top as well. So after notching the center, I'll go ahead and place the side, the part where I notch. Okay, I will place it like this together, right side facing each other. So I'll go ahead and pin it down to the left, and then I'll also pin it down to the right side. So once I was done pinning it, so I'll take to the same machine and sew it with half an inch. So this is me sewing it with half an inch. So as you sew, remove your pin. Just be careful while doing this. Okay, just be gentle with this. So once I was done sewing it, I went ahead to fold the down. So I have a separate video on how to hem the edge of your flake gown. On my last video, or my previous video, I asked if you guys want me to make a video on how to sew the edge of your dress so that you don't make mistake. A lot of you said yes, I should make a tutorial video. So I have a tutorial video for that, on how to sew the edge of your dress in case you always make mistake while sewing it down. I have a detailed tutorial for that. I'm going to be uploading it before this video, or I will upload this video before that one. So once I was done sewing it, I'll go ahead and attach my zip, and that is the last thing, okay, on the list. After attaching my zip on it, so I went ahead to cut out the belt for the waist. So after that, I'll go ahead and sew it just like as you can see me doing. So this is the end of this video. Thank you very much guys for watching. If this tutorial was helpful, please do well to like, comment and share with your friends. And I also have a Facebook group if you want to join. I'm going to be leaving it at the comment section. Click on it to join. And I also have another YouTube channel where I talk about how to make money, how to level up, how to start and grow your YouTube channel. In case you want to start up a YouTube channel, then I'm also going to be leaving the link at the description section and also at the comment section. Do well to click to support and watch. See you on my next video. Bye. Mwah.